Peace. So, listen, y'all, we gotta stop. We gotta stop dealing. We gotta stop dealing with personalities, man. You gotta leave personalities alone, because personalities is what is getting us in the position that we're in. The worship of personalities, us believing that a person, because they look like us, you know what I'm saying, that they have our best intentions at heart. Because many of us know and understand the struggle that we have been through, quote unquote, as African Americans, the experience that we have had on these shores, which is our land, which has been misconstrued as somebody else's land, and so on and so forth. But we know the struggle in some of us know extensively this struggle in the history that we have had, and some of us just know what we saw from roots and what we learned in school and so on and so forth. But even that stuff has trauma attached to it. So anytime we see somebody who looks like us sitting in a position of power, or gaining or going to a position of power, you got to understand, nobody who looks like us is able to sit in a position of power and utilize that power in a respect and regard to us. It'll never happen. You will never have somebody sitting in a power seat that looks like us able to work for us. They will never be sitting there. It'll never happen. Those people sitting in those seats are what we call tokens. You understand what I'm saying? And they're there for a reason, and they're maintaining those seats because they're gatekeepers, and they're there for a reason. Now, my thing is this. Kamala Harris is not for us, never will be for us. You understand what I mean? She's just one who will continue to carry on the same diluted, devilish, satanic, corrupt, broken system that is already in place. You want to vote Democrat and Republican, but you're voting for the same broken, corrupt system regardless of who is in office. It's the same broke system. The system has to change. Totally. It doesn't matter who's the Republican or Democrat who's in office. It's the system, because the system benefits that Democrat and Republic paradigm that most of y'all don't even know and understand, that they're playing a game with you. They're all friends. The game is on the people. If the people can stay divided, if the people can stay arguing with each other over Republican and Democrat and over right and left wing and blah, blah, blah. And I told you all the time, right wing, left wing is one bird. It's the same bird, regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's the same bird regardless. So when we think about these things, and you think about Kamala Harris and you see her and you say, oh, she gonna do her thing. I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris if you paid me $1 million. I wouldn't vote for Oprah Winfrey. I wouldn't vote for Michelle Obama if you paid me $100 million. I don't vote for people because they look like me or because they cool. I don't do that. I'm not duped like that. I'm not emotionally attached to personalities like that. So let me tell you something. You know, Hillary Clinton came to Harlem with a bunch and pulled some red hot sauce out of her pocket, some red hot out of her pocket, playing dominoes with some brothers, pull some hot sauce out of her pocket. You know what I mean? And everybody flips out. Oh, she got hot sauce. How trivial can your mind be to be influenced by that deceptive act that she did? Actually, it was a disrespect on y'all. For y'all, hot sauce? Hot sauce? For real? Hot sauce. Okay. Think about that though. Think about the way people reacted, and think about for her to walk into Harlem and to pull hot sauce out of her purse. Took a note from Obama. That was an Obama trick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought Obama was cool because he pulled hot sauce out of himself and put it on chicken wings. Obama was never for y'all, man. Obama was for the LGBT community. Yeah, he did a couple things for the indigenous, indigenous rights bill or whatever. He passed a little bill and said black is out of step. But you know what? That makes no difference to me, because that was just something that had to be done. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is that we have to move beyond this type of stuff. If we really want to get free of this system, we can't participate in it. You can't vote. You can't vote because you're voting for the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And Kamala Harris she's a devil. Point blank period. She will upkeep and uphold Israel. Her husband's an Israeli. She's going to upkeep and uphold Israel because she has to, because every politician does, because half of Congress has dual citizenship to Israel. So where does their allegiance really lie? You understand what I'm saying? So you got many people in office in Congress right now who are committing treason and sedition because their allegiance is not really with America, but it's to Israel, and we see it all the time. Matter of fact, Israel just asked America to help them with war crimes or to get out of war crimes, and here's Kamala Harris talking about she's going to extend relationships with Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Because she has to. America has a debt to Israel. You You understand what I'm saying? So that's just one thing. There's many other things. She was an assistant DA in Oakland. Oscar Grant. You know what I'm saying? She got those cops off for that murder. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of stuff. And she's proud of it. She's proud of it. She's proud to be an American. She doesn't acknowledge her African American self or her Jamaican or whatever. She acknowledges her Asian self because she speaks on it all the time. So the reality is this. We want to get free. Freedom is a state. You know what? Freedom is not a destination. It's not a destination, man. It's not a destination. And the only thing is, I can tell you about freedom is, I can't really tell you what it is. I can tell you the ideal of what freedom means from somebody else's perspective of trying to tell us what freedom is or tell me what freedom means. But I can tell you where freedom starts. Freedom starts with your thinking. You have to be free enough to be able to think for your own self and not to allow somebody else to think for you. And when they think for you, then you have to work out of their thought process to gain validation through their action and their thought process. In other words, you can't be yourself because you are living out the thoughts of somebody else. Real freedom starts with your thinking, your ability to challenge other thoughts and other ideologies and to challenge them without fear, without the threat of wondering if something's going to happen to you when you challenge this idea, because this idea is a mainstream idea set in place, but it has no validity, but it's being worked on and it's being operated out of. You have to challenge everything, man, including politics. You have to challenge that. You understand the people are the power. The government is telling you that you are not equipped to govern yourselves. And you know what? They have made the environment look as such that you are not equipped to govern yourselves. This is all orchestrated. The thing is that the people are falling right into the orchestration. You're falling right into the matrix. You're falling right into the game. They're making the environment and you're falling right in. You're proving to them, you're showing them that you aren't able to govern yourselves. Why? Because of your codependency on this system. You're codependent on it. You understand what I mean? It's an addiction. It's a sick addiction, and you have an addiction, and they know it because they got you strung out, and they did it over years. When you look at the breakdown of the family structure, you understand what I'm saying? You look at all of these young brothers today, right now, as we speak in 2019, all of these sisters are dying at the hands of brothers. They're killing them. They beating them to death. They're doing all of this crazy stuff to them. But we need to ask ourselves why. When did that happen? What occurred that these young brothers want to kill girls and kill young ladies now? What's going on? Well, we got to look at the structure. We got to look back at welfare. We got to look back at the 70s when the quote-unquote African-American family was strong, and then somewhere down the line, you know, in other aspects of the African-American family, when the man was there, even if he wasn't married and this woman was getting social services, there could be no man in the home. In order to get social services, there could be no man in the home. This started in the 70s, over 40, 50 something years, almost 50 some 48 years ago. You know, there could be no man in the home. And this transpired over into the 80s. But by the time it got into the 80s, into the mid 80s, the women were saying, we don't need no man in the home. They were saying, we don't need him in the home. We don't need him. And then you got the crack addiction. You got the crack era coming right behind it. You got all of these different little things coming right behind this era. You understand what I'm saying? And then by the 90s, you know what I mean? You got this independent thing going on, and we don't need men and brothers. We don't, and all of this type of stuff. So you got all of these women raising these young men. You know what I'm saying? With an imbalance. Because you can't, when something has balance, it's in a better situation. You can't raise, you can, but an imbalance causes an imbalance in the character. It causes an imbalance in the spirit. It causes an imbalance in many aspects of that particular being that's being raised. A young man being raised by a woman or being raised by a woman. You know what I'm saying? In these days and times, it's a lot different than young men being raised by a woman in the 50s, a single mother in the 50s or the 60s, because she had morals and standards still attached to her. You understand what I'm saying? She still had resources, and she still had a community base that was able to help her. The village effect. See, the village no longer exists. We call our neighborhoods hoods. And the word hood means vandal, criminal, or so on and so forth. So we put the vibration right on us. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got these young boys who are being raised with this imbalance, and they're hearing their mothers and they're hearing their aunts and so on and so forth, and they're watching them, how men deal with their mothers and so on and so forth, and they look at the situation, and when they raise up, what do? They become the same way. They hate women. They hate them. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, a lot of those young men are confused themselves. They're confused. You know what I mean? They're trying to live up to an expectation that they don't even know how to live up to, because the man, the masculine energy, or that other part of the balance wasn't there. And if it was there, it was treated as if it wasn't supposed to be there, and it was told to get out, get away, you're no good, blah, blah, blah. So the thing is this, I'm going in a lot of places right now, but it's okay, because the reality is for us, period, just to wake up, to understand what we're doing, and to understand that nobody can save you but our own selves. Kamala Harris can't save you. You understand what I'm saying? The government can't save you. The presidency can't save you. They're testing you to see if you can govern yourselves. If you are able to do it, they're going to run all types of psyops. They've been running psyops since we've been here. The word black, colored, and Negro are psychological operations. They just ran a psyop. The closing of the federal government is a psyop. They run psyops to see how the people are going to react to these situations, and they can build certain things around it. So they're testing your reaction. People are talking about the Facebook recognition, the 10-year-old. Listen, my face ain't changed in 10 years. It don't make a difference to me. We've been under surveillance since 1979, since 1980. We've been under big surveillance. It's not a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a criminal. I'm not here to do crime, but the only crime that I could commit that would bother this system is telling the truth. So tell the truth. Peace.